So there you are, there is our version of rocker sprouts. If you like pork and crispy pork, you like your sprouts, this is a dish for you. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing an original recipe. I don't think you've seen this before, but this is one of ours that we do right here, and we are using Brussels sprouts and a pork belly. And we have named this rocker sprouts. If you search for it, you'll never find it. You're going to see it for the first time right here, but we make it all the time. We got a pan and we're going in there with some water. Now we have to have enough water in there to boil for about 15 minutes. We want a flame on, and we're going in there with some sea salt. Now don't worry about it being salty, just get the sea salt in. So just bring that up to the boil. I have got this fantastic piece of pork belly here, and we are going to put that in there in a minute, and we are going to put it skin side down. We're going to let it loosen up in there in the boiling water, and then we'll mark it as it comes out, and we're going to roast it in the oven. We're going to have some crispy pork. This is an Asian style crispy pork going with the Western style sprouts. We're bringing it together and we called it rocker sprouts. Now people are going to say, why did you call it rocker sprouts? The dish is bold, it has an edgy twist, and okay, it's got crispy, it's got vibrant flavours, and you know, it just conveys excitement and modernity. It's modern, it's fantastic. So we called it rocker sprouts. This pan doesn't fit his, but don't worry about it. Right, we're coming up to the boil there, look. We're doing nothing with this pork belly at all, apart from letting it go swimming in there. Oh, that water's warm. In it goes. We're just going to leave that in there for about 15 minutes. So just a little quick cooking tip that I'll give you while we're doing this. You know, if you had a really low rack that fits your pan, and the pan was deeper, you could sit the pork on a rack. You know, my rack doesn't fit, but if you had one of those and you could raise it up off the bottom of the pan, it would be sat in the water boiling away. Now, because we're cooking it this way, you have to make sure that you lift it every now and again. Just let that water go back underneath that pork, because we don't want the pork fat skin to stick to the pan, because it can do, even though it's in water. So just be a little bit cautious. Okay, I've done about 10 minutes there. I think that's enough. It should have loosened up underneath. Now what we need to do is get the pork out and stick it on a board. That is it. That was our pork. Don't forget, it's not cooked. We've only softened up the skin. So the next job for our pork then is to stab it all over. We need to stab the skin. Now you can use a fork, stab it in there, or if you get one of these, because we do it all the time, there's about 1,000 spikes on there. Well, there's not. There's about 20. But anyway, straight over your pork. We got a couple of tin choices here. It's going to fit this. That'll be fine. So we're not going to bother. We're just going to score it out. Okay, so what we need to be doing, we need to be looking at this, and we want about inch strips, somewhere like that. Now, you don't come all the way through. You just go through the skin. Okay, don't go all the way down into the meat. So be careful with it. It will actually come through, not a problem, look. Because we've softened the skin already. Now you don't need a big knife like that either. You know, you could do it with a small knife. Don't worry about it. That's if your knife's sharp enough you can. So we get that nice split in the top of the skin there, look. Like that. That's all it is. Don't come down to the meat. Okay, so I'll just quickly get on here and do them all. So you can see, look, we've just scored it through. It's just come through the top of the skin. We don't go all the way down to and through the meat, okay? Just like that, nice and steady. And then we need to be going on there with some salt. Now I'm using sea salt for this one. A little bit of salt on there. Give that a little rub on the top. Okay, now the dilemma that you have with when you make something like this, that pork is not level. Not level at all. As you can see, we've got a big piece of meat there. It's shallowed down there. We need to raise it up. When it goes in the oven, it has to be level. If not, it will crisp up, pull in and be soft. So what you do, you get some tin foil and you just make yourself something to fit under there to raise it up. So we don't have to go nuts with this. We just want that to about the same level all the way in there, like that. It's a bit down there, look, it's up here, a bit down there. We want a bit more tin foil or aluminium foil or foil, whatever you know it by. That's all we need in there. We need to try and keep that skin level, and then it doesn't pull up underneath. So that's going to sit up perfectly. Look at that, that's nice and level. Okay, we put a little bit of pack in there, look, to keep it level up, and we packed it underneath. That is it, that's ready to go in the oven. All we're going to do is stick our oven on. We want to get it on for a temperature of 230. Okay, that's good enough. What we're going to do is stick this pork in there for about 35 minutes. So with this pork then, it's not going to be light and crispy, big crispy crunch on the top. We don't want that, we just want to crisp over the top. So you're going to have a little bit of crispy because we're going to stir fry it. Now you can take it and crisp it so it goes really high and crispy. Just leave it in the oven a bit longer and it will crisp up. All we're trying to do now at the moment is just crisp over the top and have cooked pork. Okay, that's our pork cooked. We're just going to take it out of there and just put it on the side. Okay, so I've already sort of half these sprouts already, but all we're doing, we're taking a normal sprout and just halving it. That's all it is. So you see what we've done? I've just halved these sprouts to make it look a bit quicker. That is the lot. So I have a bowl full of half sprouts there. Right, we've got some chilli and some garlic. We're just going to give this a mash in. We're not going to do anything fancy with it whatsoever. And we're going to throw it in this bowl. That's all it is. So there's our garlic and some of our chilli, and that is it in there. And you can see these are fiery little chilies. We got this one and we just want a bit of colour off this actually. I couldn't find a red chilli in the fridge, so we're just going to use this. Just so we've got a little bit of colour. So we just want a couple of bits of pork off there. So we got this lovely pork belly cooked there, look. Just cooked through perfectly. And then when it's stir fried, it will be perfect. Now all we need to do is just cut this into some slices. So we're just going to come in there and we're just going to do our pork. So we've got some decent pork cubes like that. So that'll be enough for our stir fry. Lovely. So we just got a little bowl here, look, and all we're going to do is just chuck that in there. Now whatever you do, don't eat it all. So we just want a little bit of oil in this pan. Right, so we get a flame on. Now we're not going to go too crazy with this, it's just a little bit of a stir fry. So we want about low to medium really. And we're just going to go in there with our garlic and chilli. And for all the people that are very observant, it's still got a little bit of skin on there. But in Asia, no one cares about that. It's a different garlic actually to the West. So they just give it a smash and chuck it in. Okay, as soon as you've got that going, sprouts in there. Now we're going to give this a little bit of a working over. We want a little bit of tinging on this. So we don't go crazy, we'll let it tinge up and we'll keep giving it a little gentle stir. So as you can see, we're getting a little bit of tinging on there, look, and that's what we're after. Okay, we're just going to go in there with a little splash of water actually. Let those sprouts soften up in that water. Fantastic. A little bit of fish sauce. A little bit of soy sauce. About a tablespoon actually. And we want about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce. So that's about 1. It's about 2. That's about 3. Give that a little mix in. And we can see we've got a lovely sauce already with that, with those sprouts. Fantastic. Want a little bit of sugar going in here. About half a tablespoon. Just give them a little minute in there. Cook in there with that sauce. And then we'll chuck the pork in. A little bit of pepper. And serve it up. So that's it, that's our sprouts done in there, look. That's superb. Now, you've only got to turn it off now. We're going to go in there with our chilli, just for colour. I'm going to chuck our pork in. We're just going to stir it all through. And that is it. There's no cooking on this. The pork's already cooked, it's warming up there with that. That looks fantastic. All we got to do is a little shake of white pepper in there and that finish it off. A little bit of pepper. That's it. Ready to serve. Just look at that. How fantastic is that? Let's serve it up. So there you are, there is our version of rocker sprouts. If you like pork and crispy pork, you like your sprouts, this is a dish for you. This is original. I hope you don't mind us sharing one of our original recipes with you. This is what we eat here. The only way that we really enjoy sprouts actually. We eat the sprouts with the crispy pork, a little bit of chili, a little bit of Asian seasoning. There you go. What you wouldn't do, you wouldn't sit and eat all this. You know, this is a shared plate. This goes in the middle of the table with your rice and you would share it. So what is it like? Well, I know what it's like. I make it so many times. You've got that crunchy pork. It's sensational. We've got our sprouts. I mean, come on. Those sprouts are carrying that flavour, that Asian flavour. You can't taste the fish sauce, don't worry about that. It's got a lovely sweetness to it. It's delicious. If you like Asian food, you're going to love this. Now, the sprouts are still a little bit crunchy now, and I realise some people don't like crunchy sprouts. They like mushy sprouts. Well, you know, enjoy whichever way you like. This is superb. Soft with a little bit of crunch. That is exactly what you want. And this pork is just superb. So I better stop eating this because it's got to go in the middle of the table. So there you are. That is an original recipe. I hope you like it. If you do, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and we'll catch you in the next video.